Day 158 of the Ukrainian war map, otherwise known as the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Juzzy here. Now, these series of videos take a bit of a linear and down-to-earth approach to the look and feel and understanding of what's happening currently with the actual current war map of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, before I start having a look at the map really, we'll have a look at the Russian losses to date. So it's always incremental, small updates. Personnel losses are within the vicinity of about 500 per day. Now, this doesn't include all kills or even wounded, but it does of course include prisoners of war, as you can see here. Now, this figure, just to know or just to note, sometimes, well, actually does include a lot of the Russian-backed separatist forces, so ones in the Luhansk or Donetsk region, so just to be aware of that. Now, the intended amount for invasion, about 200,000 personnel, Russian personnel, very, very high on the mark, reaching that. I'm really interested to see what happens with the war map once it does hit 100%, because Russia will be faced to look at this war in a very, very different way there. Now, having a look at some new updates. Armored combat vehicles, this is always the biggest one. So these are like the big trucks and logistic type things, sometimes with guns on them, but usually not. About 4,000, hit 4,000 plus now of destroyed effectively there. Got about 1,700 tanks, a big handful of artillery and aircrafts there as well. Not many ships and boats, but you might notice there the Russian flagship called the Moskva, which is just Russian for Moscow. It was hit a few months ago there, and that was a very, very big loss for them, even though it's just one on the board here. Now, let's move across to the map and have a bit of a look. We'll start with the north region, because there is a renewed push from the Russian side to take Kharkiv. Now, this is in Ukrainian, but if you can read it like me, you'll see that this says Kharkiv there. And they've tried this many times before to actually push into the Kharkiv region and oblast and province, call it what you will there. Been unsuccessful in many attempts, and they probably will be unsuccessful in this next attempt that they're currently underway attempting to do. It's a heavily defended, heavily fortified region. Kharkiv just cannot be taken. In my opinion as well, it's very hard to do so, because they're just, whenever they seem to have come from the top, in fact, the land is a little bit similar to Kiev in a way. So they're trying to push down from the top. They've been unsuccessful. You'll see all these grey regions which have been liberated effectively. So that means they were previously taken, but then liberated again. And this sort of thing will probably keep on going on and on. So a bit of a stalemate there. If we go down the line a little bit, we'll see that, in fact, we have the Ukrainian forces taking a bit of chunk of space here. In fact, if I just push through to the very latest day, you'll see that, we've actually taken a few more positions here, which is nice to see. One famous US general recently said that the Ukraine/Russian war is measured in hundreds of meters, not hundreds of kilometers, for gains and losses. So otherwise we are looking at some stalemates. Moving further down, there's definitely a wanting of the Russian forces to take this final area of the Donbass region. Now, we can see a couple of cities here. We've got Kramatorsk here, and we've got Slivenyansk up the top here. So they're definitely looking to take the remainder of the Donbass region, of which these are the two biggest cities left over to take. It's going to be difficult to do that there too, because when they're trying to take this area, you can see that this grey area actually stands for undetermined area, but it is growing in an undetermined way. Previously it was like red, which of course means it's Russian controlled, but they're having a real hard time, the Russian forces, taking the remainder of the Donbass region there. And the Donbass, as I normally say in videos, consists of both the Luhansk region, which is the Luhansk Oblast, and the Donetsk Oblast down the bottom there as well. So we'll see how that happens. Now, down the bottom here is where it's really interesting, because there's an offensive from the Russian side and starting to look like a bit of a counter-offensive from the Ukrainian side. So we've got this this Russian-controlled city here called Kherson, if you can read that. And what Russia is actually attempting to do at the moment is up their troop numbers from about 12,000 to 25,000, as some information suggests or indicates. Now, this is difficult to do a bit of an offensive from the Russian side to take this and more territory, because most recently Ukraine did take out a bridge. I believe it was this one right here. This was a rail bridge, which means that Russia can no longer send their supplies through there, and they like to send it through train. So now they're forced to use this dam bridge up here, so it's a little bit further away from the action, so to speak, there. So they may be in a way landlocked, the Russian forces, sooner or later. We do expect a bit of an invasion or counter-offensive from Ukraine in about August time to take back this area. Of course, what Russia wants to do is take this whole region. So let's zoom out. They want to take this whole region here and turn it into the Donbass area, so like a self-governed area, that sort of thing. They want to do everything, and they want to do that with everywhere along the line here, really, but particularly this area too. They want to create further space away from NATO countries, to, not to say Ukraine is a NATO country at least yet, but further space from NATO to Russia, because they just want a lot of ballistic missiles to be out of range in a way for both sides. Let's have a bit of a look further here. So that is about it. Now, we do know about Odessa, the grain port, where they're actually they've got a passageway, safe passageway to send through the grains. I think it was $10 billion worth of grains, a very high amount to go all around the world. That should affect wheat prices positively after that UN brokered deal that happened about 6 or 7 days ago now. Let's see what else is in the news. So we have Turkey, the creator of the Bayraktar TB2 drones that have been used to wild success on the Ukrainian side. Now, the president of that country, Turkey, Erdogan, is said to be declining the supply or factory setup of these Bayraktar drones, specialist unmanned aerial vehicle drones for Russia. So Russia's not too happy about that. But apparently there's a bit of a meeting between the president of Russia and Turkey in Sochi down here shortly to sort of see what they can do about that there. Last but not least, just in terms of news today, is the US is looking to supply 10,000 HIMARS rockets for the HIMARS machines that have been used in recent weeks and maybe a month or more to much success there. So the HIMARS rockets. Now, the US only produces about 10,000 of these a year, and but they are looking to supply that amount to Ukraine soon. Of course, there's only the actual HIMARS machines that allow, like a big truck that has a 6-stacker launcher that allows to basically send off the rockets and shoot them. But Ukraine only has about 15 of those at the moment, but we all expect them to get quite a few more in the upcoming weeks and certainly months there, and certainly this year. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I've made this video a little bit too long today. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one.